Are you still eating these 5 foods? If you have rheumatoid arthritis, they could be making your symptoms way worse. Hello, this is Dr. Siddharth Amber from Chicago Arthritis and Regenerative Medicine. I specialize in non-surgical treatments for musculoskeletal conditions, rheumatology, regenerative medicine, and metabolic health. My goal is to help you live pain-free and optimize your health with cutting-edge treatments. Rheumatoid arthritis is more than just joint pain. It's an autoimmune condition that causes your immune system to attack your joints, leading to inflammation, pain, and long-term damage. And while medications and advanced treatments are critical for managing this disease, your diet plays a powerful role too. In fact, some common foods can fuel inflammation, aggravate your symptoms, and even make your medications less effective. Today, we're going to talk about what rheumatoid arthritis is and how it works, the science of inflammation and immune dysfunction, and the top foods you should avoid if you have RA. Rheumatoid arthritis is a chronic autoimmune disease. That means your immune system, which is supposed to protect you, mistakenly attacks your joints. The result? You'll have swelling, pain, stiffness in the joints, and if left untreated, even joint damage and disability. RA typically affects the smaller joints first, like your hands and feet, but over time it can involve larger joints and even cause inflammation in your eyes, lungs, and heart, and more. The big issue in RA is inflammation. This is the body's natural defense system gone haywire. Inflammation RA is driven by immune cells that release chemicals called cytokines. Think of cytokines like angry emails being sent around your immune system. These messages say, attack the joint, even though there's nothing to defend against. And here's the key. Your food choices can either fuel these inflammatory messages or help calm them down. Some foods activate the same inflammatory pathways that are already overactive in RA. That's why your diet matters, because you're either adding fuel to the fire or helping to put it out. Here are the top 5 foods that are bad for RA. Let's break down the biggest offenders. Number 1 are sugar and processed carbohydrates. We're talking about soda, candy, white bread, pastries. These foods spike your blood sugar, which leads to insulin spikes, and that can create more inflammation. High blood sugar also increases the release of advanced glycation end products, AGEs. These chemicals damage tissues and promote inflammation in your joints. The analogy is, imagine sugar acting like sandpaper in your bloodstream. It scratches up your blood vessels and joints, leading to pain and more flare-ups. Number 2 are fried and fast foods. Fried chicken, French fries, and even some restaurant-prepared meals contain trans fats and oxidized oils. These directly trigger inflammatory responses in the immune system. They also reduce the effectiveness of some of your medications. So even if you're on treatment, these foods are working against you. Quick tip, if you eat fast food, try doing it less than once a week or switch to grilled instead of fried options. Number 3, red and processed meats. Beef, sausage, bacon, and deli meats are high in saturated fats and may contain nitrates and preservatives that worsen inflammation. Some studies suggest these meats increase your C-reactive protein levels, an inflammatory marker that we monitor in RA. Note that grass-fed or lean-cut meats may be less inflammatory, but moderation here is still key. Number 4 is dairy for some people. Dairy is tricky. For some people with RA, especially those with gut issues, dairy can worsen symptoms due to proteins like casein. However, not everyone is sensitive. If you feel more joint pain or bloating after eating yogurt, cheese, or dairy, consider cutting back for a couple of weeks and see how your body responds. Scientific note here, dairy intolerance is not universal, but elimination diets often identify it as a trigger. Number 5 is alcohol. Alcohol, especially in higher amounts, can disrupt the gut lining, interfere with liver metabolism, and increase inflammation. And if you're on medications like methotrexate or biologics, alcohol can increase the risk of liver irritation or damage as well. A rule of thumb is 1 drink a day or less. And if you're flaring, I'd recommend avoiding it completely until your flare subsides. Another one to consider are, what about nightshades? Tomatoes, eggplant, peppers, and potatoes are part of the nightshade family. Some people with RA say that they feel worse after eating these. There's no strong scientific consensus yet, but I always tell my patients, if you notice a connection, trust your body, try eliminating them for a few weeks and reintroducing slowly to see what happens. So what should you eat instead? I'd recommend focusing on anti-inflammatory, nutrient-rich foods, such as leafy greens like spinach and kale, omega-3 rich foods like salmon, chia seeds, flax seeds, colorful vegetables and berries, whole grains like quinoa or brown rice, healthy fats from olive oil and avocados. You want to think about a Mediterranean-style diet, low in processed foods, high in fiber, and rich in healthy fats. Some common questions that I hear. Number one, can I cheat occasionally? Sure, but think of these as inflammation accelerators. If you're flaring or trying to heal, now's the time to be strict and disciplined with yourself. Once you're stable, you can experiment with moderation. Another common question, do I need to be gluten-free? Only if you're sensitive to gluten or have celiac disease. Some RA patients do better off gluten, but it's not a universal rule. Another question, should I be vegan? You don't have to be, but eating more plants and less animal fat is usually helpful when it comes to inflammation. It's about shifting your balance, not necessarily following strict labels. To sum it up, rheumatoid arthritis is driven by immune dysfunction and inflammation. Your diet can either help control or worsen that inflammation. You want to avoid sugar, fried foods, processed meats, alcohol, and possibly dairy. You want to focus on whole anti-inflammatory foods to feel and function better. If you found this helpful, please make sure to like, subscribe, and share this with someone living with RA. For more expert advice on how to reduce joint pain and inflammation without surgery, visit us at chicagoarthritis.com. Until next time, have a great day and live well.